Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome aboard the Me-262 A-2a Sturmvogel, which is a rank 5 battle rating 6.7 German jet fighter with two 30mm Mk108s with 200 rounds between them, and you can also equip two 250kg bombs to it once you have researched it. I cheated a little bit, I know, golden eagles, yeah. You know, since of today I am included in the Gaijin partnership program, and you know, I have to admit, if not for the program, I would have not spent the golden eagles for the bomb bomb hanging equipment. And let's say we will see later on if it was worth it or not. And yeah, so here we go. Now the Me-262 is one of those jets, you know, that is highly iconic. It is the first operational jet that you get for the Germans. Yeah, there is the Me-163 before that. Yeah, but technically that's a rocket. You know, many people say it's a jet, but you know, it's not a prop, and so everything that is not a prop is automatically a jet for the majority of players. Let's put it that way. But you know what I mean. And the tech tree version does have no bombs, but four 30mm cannons with a little bit more ammunition, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up. Well, actually it has 360 rounds for all four cannons, so per gun technically it's less. I know there are the lower guns and the upper guns, and between them they have different amounts of shells, but you know, it's not the worst. And 200 rounds, that doesn't sound too much, but you have to see they are 30mm. They can do this to planes if you aim properly, that is, and you don't have the sun in your face. There you can see the bombs, by the way. They are mounted very in the front of the plane, but because you have a nose wheel, it makes sense, you know, weight distribution wise. And at the moment, you know, I killed my first target while I actually was aiming for gathering speed for a climbing process. I know. Climbing with bombs in a fighter, I must have played American planes before, right? Jokes aside, let's be serious for a moment. This is the very first battle that I played. And I might have mentioned it, as of today I am part of the Gaijin partnership program, and so I got a few golden eagles, which I then used quickly on equipment that I, you know, desperately need, that, you know, needs absolutely no skill to get. For example, on high tier tanks, to get the fire prevention equipment and the repair kit, there is absolutely no skill involved in getting it, and it saves you so much frustration, for example. And I spent, you know, a few golden eagles on getting the bombs for this plane because I was very curious how it points out, and you know, I was also intending to make a video on this. I did not expect that the very first battle that I play is actually worth showing. Before I went into the battle, I did a little bit of thinking, and you know what you do before you actually get into a battle in jets. The queue times are a bit longer at night, and I was thinking, what can you do with this plane? Well, 250kg bombs, they are not so great for taking out tanks, and you just have one drop, and you know, you have to be very precise with the 250kg bombs. And for example, in ground forces, is it worth it? Well, that's open for discussion, because you just have one drop with bombs that are not too strong against, you know, the normal average tank. Then you have to pull out of the dive in time, but you have to be precise at the same time. It's kind of difficult. Going to an air battle with just two 30mm, well, as we could see in the beginning, it's not too bad. When you have the right opponent, that is. I took a little bit of engine damage here, but it's just yellow, and I thought, let's let's fly around for a few minutes more, and let's change direction so that, you know, we could go to the airfield back in time. Then I see those bot IL-2s. Are they new on this map? I'm not quite sure. I made a few terrible shots, but still have a little bit of ammunition. And that was a nice shot. The dispersion helped me here out a little bit, and the P-80 actually just missed me. And I thought to myself right at this moment, well, bombs could be used for a different purpose, right? Right? There are so numerous cases, you know, out on YouTube where bombers just tricked fighters into a low-level follow-up and dropped the bombs with a delay, 2 or 3 seconds, depends. I have chosen here 2 seconds. I do here a little bit of evasive actions against the P-80, and because it's just equipped with 50 cals, I can take a few shells, you know, because 50 cals are the best weapon in the game. Sorry about this. And at this point I decided to myself, oh, it's getting a bit hot in here, let's get out of here. And I had to do an evasive action against this meteor, and watched, what a shame, couldn't get my guns quite on target. And you can see how good the meteor is. Look at this, he turned around after a steep climb and he catches up rapidly. At this point, it could have been possible to drop the bombs, but I had Yak 3 problems, and he actually tips my engine a little bit more, if I'm not correct. Watch this. Yeah, nice hit, critical hit, central gear leg. I shot at the top of the plane, I'm just saying, and that was a terrible, terrible bomb drop. So they drop actually just in some farmer's garden. Not the best. And then I get shot from behind by some Yak 17. Thanks Gaijin for the nerf on the 23mm, by the way. Much appreciated. And one engine is completely down. I'm just flying on one engine. I'm very close to the airfields, and you can see there is a lot of traffic going around. Many planes are back on the runway. A-2a is having a field day. And yeah, let's see if you still can land on the engines. Let's see if we can do it. Yep, still works fine. Nice cockpit, by the way. There you can see the impact in the wing. The other side. Yeah, it's still very nice to land on the engines. It not just is, you know, possible to land, but in my opinion it's also better to land. And here we go again. And I still have the bombs equipped, because I thought to myself, well, you know, I have to start again. It's very likely that I get boom and soon. Maybe I pull off something. Maybe I can pull off something spectacular with those bombs. It was just, you know, flying for shits and giggles. It was just to get a feeling for the plane, you know, kind of. You know, there is somebody out on YouTube that calls it a naked flyout. And, you know, I was not so naked. I had some bombs covering my belly, so to speak. But let's see how we can do the start. And I have to say, I remember the stock Me262, the original, to be a bit less powerful when it comes to the start. And keep in mind, on the one hand, we have two 30mm cannons less, but therefore we have two bombs again, and the bomb pylons add additional drag. I mean, it comes just to influence the flight characteristic of the planes rather at high speeds, in my opinion. And so I do the same old story again, flying low to get speed, to be able to make a zoom climb or to have at least any possibilities. Now General Jiggy here is farming the L2s, getting a lot of points, and I'm just flying towards the P80. And the bot L2s just cleared the area, it seems like. They're flying away, flying home. And yeah, so I'm just watching the scenery. I'm not sure if this was just a time limited bug here, that I didn't hear the engine sound within the cockpit, but it doesn't matter. So I just fly towards the combat zone and I'm looking around if I can see any of the bombers, because there are a few bombers still alive. And you know, I'm not quite sure, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed that this plane didn't have any talisman and I have to research all the modules by myself again, which is very time consuming. And you know, this plane, with the exception of the bombs, doesn't bring anything new to the table, so to speak. For bombs I have the Arados, you know. For the 30mm I have the normal Me262 and even the rocket equipped ones, you know, the rocket booster ones that have more of them. So in a head-on engagements they are more effective most of the time. But I saw some black dots at low altitude and I was thinking, could you boom and zoom them? Could you approach them? And I see two of them and I'm going for the left one. And I assumed, yeah, they might be in the vicinity of their airfield, so I'm not quite sure what to do. But let's get closer and let's find out what options we have when we are there. This is not how to fly jets. This is just me doing something, you know, figuring out how it goes by, you know, just simply doing it. But which kind of plan do I currently have in the battle, you know? There is a P80, the Me262 is following the L2Ms. We have a massive point disadvantage, so what options do I have? Well, there is the enemy airfield, and there is a meteor about to start. A B-17 is landing. The second B-17 is approaching for a landing. The Yak-17 just crashed, and I thought to myself, wait a moment. I have bombs and there is the airfield. What can you do? And in this moment I was really like, is it worth it? Is it really worth it to try? Do I get away with it? Should I do it? And might it just be possible that I get both of them? Can it be? Okay, let's make sure that I get at least one of them. There is the stationary B-17. Let's dive onto him, drop bombs right now, and let's see how it works out. Bombs dropping, and they're falling, and they land just meters next to the one B-17. The next B-17 is rolling over them. 2-second delay. Perfect. And here is the original point of view. Yes, and I get hammered by the AAA, and the B-17 actually gets the kill. And at this moment I was like, it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it. And the pure irony to bomb two bombers with a fighter on their own airfield. It's just totally worth it. So yeah, let's have a quick look how much it actually was worth. 15,000 bonus silver lines. Well, I really need them, as you can see. Well, for 4 player controlled aircraft and 1 bot IL-2, I got 58,000 silver lions and 4,064 modification research points. And yeah, so surprise and double strike, it's totally worth it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you understand why I showed you this particular battle and not a flawless, you know, ace or something which, you know, you play enough games, you get them one at a time. Being just second with 3,367 score points is just another statement how broken the spawn point or, you know, the score point system in RRB is at the moment, in my opinion. You get way too much for taking down AI units or ground units, but it's worth, you know, just talking about this. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Give this video a like if you did. It really helps the channel out greatly. Subscribe if you want to see more. And let me know in the comment section what you think about this reward vehicle, the battle you just saw. And we will see each other in the skies of War Thunder.